can talk about it. Tell me how you feel, we can talk about it. Say what's on your mind, we can talk about it. Simple conversations with no limitations. Come and have a talk with Mama Tina.
So guys, I made vegan gumbo. So taste it and tell me what you think.
Okay, I can dig in now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope it's not too hot.
It looks so good.
Wow.
Good.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Wait.
Oh my goodness. Are you joking right now?
Now I have to learn how to make.
Okay, taste yours, Courtney.
Okay,
Now
okay,
yours
I
has the.
Well, I'm
You
a
know.
meat eater. So
Yeah, you got my
you know
kind of
what?
gumbo there.
This is amazing.
I remember this from the first game.
Oh, it's a little so good. I'm
This
so
is
happy
so
you
good.
guys like it.
Oh my gosh.
So, how old were you when you guys became vegetarians?
It was like 8, 9 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was from really little. So
Oh,
you guys
no.
were already teenagers or preteens, right?
I loved meat. Like
Yeah,
I
they
would
would
gristle off the bone and everything.
We eat steaks, chicken,
You ate everything.
Yeah.
everything.
And y'all still like burgers out here, but now it's
Beyond burgers
Beyond
or
burgers.
impossible.
Yeah, we're not the healthiest vegans. This is really good.
good. I'm glad. So, guys, I cannot wait to have this talk with Mama Tina. So we're gonna move into the living room, and Courtney, you make yourself at home. So let's go, girls. Hi, guys. You guys look so beautiful.
That's you.
Thank you.
Snatch.
Y'all are complimenting all of my art. I want to start just by saying, where were you guys born?
Atlanta.
In Atlanta,
we were
which
born.
everybody's surprised about because they think you guys are from Los Angeles. But how long have you lived here?
Yeah, so we moved to LA around, is it 9 years ago now?
Wow.
But we are Southern girls. We were born in Atlanta, Georgia, and we love it there. We miss home a lot.
I know that I saw you guys the first time one of my girlfriends, Monica, called me and said, Tina, you have to look on Instagram at these two little girls. They are so cute and they can sing, really, really sing. They remind me of Beyonce and Kelly. So I looked at you guys. I think y'all were doing Pretty Hurt in the front of this
Yeah, like that dresser.
console.
Yeah.
Which I have the same one. And I was like, how creative and how beautiful they are. And had no idea when I called Beyonce and I said, you know, you got to sign these girls. She was like, Mom, I signed them 6 months ago. And so that story kind of is the beginning of me knowing about you guys. And then, of course, later on, I found out that when you were little, I met you.
Yeah.
And had no idea in Atlanta
Isn't that crazy?
filming Fighting Temptation. So how old were you then?
I just turned 4.
Oh
I
my
was
God,
3 and a
you were
half when I
4?
auditioned. Yes.
Oh my God.
Right? And I had my little short locks to
I know,
here.
so cute. And you actually played Beyonce as a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
How crazy is that, how the universe works and how God works?
That was my true introduction to her because I was so young and I just remember how nice she was to me, and like even at the rap party she'd like pick me up and throw me around, and I was like, she's so cool. And from that moment I like followed her journey, and like then a year later we went to this concert, the family and I, and it was her, Missy Elliott, Alicia Keys, and two other incredible women, and like that was the
Ladies
moment.
First tour.
Exactly.
Yes.
And that was the moment, like we had the little Crazy in Love binoculars, and I was like, okay, I want to do that. So it was like, because of how nice she was to me and my sister at the premiere, it's like, if it wasn't for that, maybe we wouldn't have been performers and singers and all of that. So it's crazy how life connects.
You know, it's interesting because when Beyonce was 3, I took her to the Triumph tour with Michael Jackson and his brothers.
Wow.
And my friend said, well, if you go to this certain area at the Astrodome, he's going to come out that way. So I had her out there. It was a group of about 20 people. He walks over, tries to grab her. And she loved him so much. She was just overwhelmed as kids do, and she just started crying, and you know, she wouldn't go to him.
Yeah.
But what are the odds of that?
Wow.
And she said then, I'm gonna be like Michael Jackson. And I was like, yeah, okay. You
Look
know,
at her now.
Look at her
Yes.
now. And I just think that that's how fate and God work. But how did you guys start? Like, did you just start harmonizing? And at what age did you guys start doing this stuff?
Very, very young. But I remember the first thing that we kind of really did together was a talent show at Spelman College. We would go to Spelman summer camp, and we would have the best time. We would dance and swim and sing all summer. And I just remember feeling my freest when I was there. And I remember they had a talent show that you could sign up for. And I don't remember how we made the decision that we were going to sign up. I think Mom was like, yeah, you girls are going to do it. And we were like, okay. I remember we rehearsed, and it was the song Summertime by Nina Simone. And
Wow, that was deep. Y'all were singing Nina Simone. How old were you?
so I was 5 and Chloe was
7.
7. I just remember feeling so free on that stage once we went on and we rehearsed it and we finally did it, and we heard all of our friends and family screaming for us, and that was kind of the moment where we were like, okay, we can actually do this together.
Why were y'all listening to Nina Simone at 5 and 7?
You know, our parents were playing like
Right.
such great music around the house. I think whatever they listened to, we were like, oh, well, we'll like it too.
Right.
And then I remember the second song that we learned was God Bless the Child by Billie Holiday. As we were learning the lyrics of the song, because, you know, we're so young, we don't really know what we're saying. But it's crazy because as I got older and Hallie got older, it resonates so much more to us.
Oh,
and then
of course.
watching those videos of us being so young, singing those lyrics,
Yes.
it's like, it does something to your soul.
Yeah.
It's like a little click thing. It's like we understood what we were singing about, but at the same time we didn't. And it almost was the playbook to our life. Like, God bless
That's
His child.
right.
You have to work hard for what you want in order to get blessed by God. So it's like, that's almost what we've been living by ever since we were that young.
It's your mantra. Most people that I talk to that have very talented kids, they play music even before they were born,
Yes.
when they were infants.
Yeah.
And it's very true because that influences, even though you might not understand it completely, I think it makes an impact on who you
Yes.
are, what you believe, how advanced you are with music. So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
that's great. We just talked about how you guys met Beyonce, but who made the call to you guys? Who reached out first?
So we always loved her. And we did like how many covers
Oh
of
my
her
God,
songs?
so many
A lot,
covers of her
I've seen
songs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember we got the email.
Yes. And I thought it was fake.
I knew it was real.
Chloe knew it was real because Chloe knew the Parkwood seal. Like, she
okay.
knew. She's like, that's the thing. I know that's real. I was like, no.
Yeah, it was really crazy
Yeah.
too, because when we were younger, like, we loved her, and I was always like, we're gonna be the first artist signed to her label, because she would talk about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're gonna be the first one.
Chloe
so,
would always say that.
So when we got
Wow,
the email,
So y'all brought that to you.
Yeah,
You really
it's
did.
kinda
You
weird.
Spoke it into existence.
so then we saw the Parkwood seal. Me, Hallie, Mom, and Dad were all freaking out, screaming. I still remember it clear as day in my head. We were in LA. We just moved to that new house, and we were like, okay, because they asked if they could post the video on her socials, and we were like, yes. And then I was like, we should say we're not signed too. Just say we're not signed.
Yeah.
So then we said,
So you were a business person already. And how old were you then?
how old were we?
Were you
15
like-
and 13?
I think
we
so.
were 15.
15 and 13. Wow, it's
Yeah.
absolutely meant
Yeah.
to be. There have been comparisons with Beyonce and yourself. And I just want to know, how does that feel? Does that feel kind of weird? Do you feel like you need to say, oh, I'm my own person? Or how do you handle that?
She's like the greatest entertainer of all time. So to even be associated with her, it's like a pretty cool thing. And I only take that as the highest compliment. And it's like, I only hope that my sister and I leave a mark on the world as much as she has, even just a little bit. And what I love about her so much is that she always encourages us to be our best selves. I wouldn't be making music probably my sister as well, if it wasn't for her. If it wasn't for that moment, we were at the concert and it was like, I want to do that.
Right.
So I only hope to one day even just follow in her footsteps at all, but in my own way.
Yes, in your own way. And
Yeah.
you are, you guys are super talents in your own right.
Thank you.
I mean, I'm probably the oldest person in the fan club of grownish around. And you guys are the highlight of the show for me. Seriously.
Thank you.
With the little smart mouth. That
Right? Sally's my favorite character.
And your sensitivity and how vulnerable you are. But when people tell you too much, because I've heard that and it makes me mad, you are never too much, because you are beautiful. You got a beautiful body. And, you know, if you want to show it, then by all means, you ain't going to have it always. So while you got it, girl, flaunt it. Flaunt it. You look amazing. And you just finished a movie. I know you can't say a lot about it, but I mean, that's another proud moment for us. That's history for us. What has been the most surreal? Like when you knew you made it?
I still don't think we made it yet.
Yeah, I think
yes,
that
you have.
I think it's like this constant sense of I'll do the next thing until the next thing until the next thing. But for me, I know that there were certain moments like the Super Bowl, singing America the Beautiful.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. That was when we were like, okay, wow. And then the Grammy performance. Those are just moments where you're just like, what the heck am I doing here? Like,
And how did I get here?
yeah.
You know, it's funny because Beyoncé, when Whitney Houston did the national anthem, she was like, I'm going to do that one day. And I was like, oh, baby, that's so sweet. Yeah, sure you are. And she did it. The day that she sang it, I just cried. I couldn't stop crying because I said, she said she was going to do this, and I hadn't thought about it. What's that moment for y'all?
I just recently had that moment at the VMAs.
Yeah.
I think that would be the one for you, right? Yeah.
And what about you, Kelly? Yeah.
Being Ariel.
Well, getting that role felt very surreal. It was much of a shocker for me. Even when I was asked to audition, I looked at it and I was like, me? Like, as for Ariel, that just doesn't, you know, because my image of Ariel that I've had is the red hair and the pale skin and the tail, and she was amazing to me. I loved her, like we all did. But that's what I've seen her as for so long. So even the auditioning process, I was like, I remember being so scared and so nervous. I think my dad, one time he was like, let's run through the lines. And, you know, he's like, okay. And I started reading them and I just started sobbing.
Really?
And he's like, Hallie, what's wrong? What's wrong? I'm like, I can't believe I'm even going to go for this. But so grateful that I kind of get to reinvent Ariel and show other young, beautiful black and brown children that, hey, you can be this too. You are magical and mythical and all of the wonderful things in between as well. And so going into this, oh no, I'm gonna cry.
It's okay.
Don't cry.
I cry all the time.
But going into the filming process, I had to learn and say to myself that you can do it and it's okay, and that my sister is here, and she was. And so it was just a beautiful experience for me to kind of spread my wings in that way. But sorry, it's so embarrassing.
No, you know,
But it was
it's
so
true
fun.
because you don't look over next to you. And I remember the girls saying that when they went their own ways, that, you know, to look over to the left and not see Kelly is really scary.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. What was it like doing your first performance without your sister?
It was really scary for us because we were going to be apart for so long. And it was because ever since we were so young, we've done
You've never been separated,
We've never been
right?
separated.
Yeah.
We've done
Have you ever been separated for any length of time?
never.
You know, I really want to bring your mom in because I want to talk about the dynamics of roles that your parents played and what does she impart to you that made you the amazing young women that you are. I'm so proud of y'all. So I am so excited to have Miss Courtney Bailey. So mamas are a running theme with me because I truly believe that moms don't get enough credit. Forget the entertainment part, just as women, spiritually, emotionally, self-confidence, the security, all those things that go into making a humbleness, which I see in these girls. What was the most important thing that you taught your girls?
Thank you, Miss Tina. It's such, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking with Miss Tina. What I try to instill in my children is just, was given a gift. And God granted us, me and my husband, the ability to have children and to honor that. And to teach my ladies to be God-fearing, they are lights, to be kind, to be humble, and to use the gift. We all have gifts.
Yes. How did you talk to them? Like my mom said to me, well, pretty is as pretty does. Beauty fades, outer beauty fades, but you got to have some inner beauty for people to like you or want to be around you. It's many things that got on my last nerve when she told me, but I find myself imparting those things to my children.
Absolutely.
And even though they say it in a more cool, hip way, I hear it all the time, them saying that to their kids, and I just kind of laugh because I'm like, it really did work. What was that one thing, if you could think of something that you said, like a saying that you had?
I remember one. She'd always tell us to have personality.
That one.
So, and there was a song that she would sing. How did it go?
Personality,
Who?
personality.
What is it?
That's what I'm looking for.
What is
That's
it?
right.
Piss poor purple.
Piss poor performance prevents.
No.
No.
That's okay. Take your time because I want to hear it.
Prior planning prevents
Piss poor
performance.
preparation. Yeah.
Love it.
Yes.
Prior
Something like that.
planning prevents piss poor performance.
I love it. That sounds like an Agnes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Did she make y'all fix your beds and do chores?
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Really?
Yeah.
We had a whole system, chore system. If we wanted to go somewhere and hang with our friends, we'd have to, okay, what's the list of the chores? Is it done? It would come, be checked. Everything
Just
would be
check.
spotless.
Was it any advice about boys?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
One of the main things that I learned from my mom is the work ethic. And there was this, it's in the Bible, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Absolutely. It's one of my favorite scriptures.
Yeah, and mom and dad would say that to us so many times. And, when we were younger, there were so many things that we were missing out on.
Yeah.
That we would have to sacrifice, like whether we wanted to hang out with friends,
Right.
if we couldn't go swimming, if we couldn't go hang out, all those things. And sometimes we would be down about it because,
Of
we're
course.
kids and we're like,
You
we
be
want to
mad
have.
at your mama, right?
Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
we want to have these opportunities, all of that, and to have that, but we learn that to whom much is given, much is expected. And through that, I truly, truly love God.
Yes.
And through that, I've learned that I can't just pray and ask for it.
You gotta make it happen.
I also have to work for it.
Faith without work is dead. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as my sister and I were given this gift, it could be taken away. Like, thank God our voice is healthy. Thank God we have healthy bodies, especially in the midst of this pandemic. So it's like we have to continue to pay it forward. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from my mom, work ethic.
And in terms of boy advice, I mean, mom and dad, they're so funny. They're very you be about your business. You don't worry about none of that. But when it comes to that,
Get yours.
yeah, mom has taught us that it's important for you to have your own, for you
your
to have
own.
your stuff together. Boys will come and go. That's
right.
fun. You have a nice time, great. But at the end of the day, you have to make sure that you love yourself
Exactly.
and that you have something going for yourself and your own career, your own life.
Your own
So
money.
you're not so you're not dependent on any man
Yes.
for anything.
When did you take it seriously?
When they were 3,
3.
Chloe was 3.
She was 3?
She was
And she
3.
was 1.
And she was, well, you know, the young one just kind of follows the path. Because they're
absolutely.
together
It
like
influences.
twins. They were
Yeah.
my little twins.
Yeah, they're so close together.
They're so close. I tell the story often. She would sing and Mary had a little lamb.
Already at 3.
Already at 3. I said, Chloe, do that again. And then Hallie would just repeat after Chloe, mimic Chloe.
Right. Did you ever think, so I knew she could sing. I know she could sing. When did you start playing the piano?
Oh, I think I was like not taking it seriously during our voice lessons at like 9.
You had voice lessons too.
Yes.
Did you hate them?
We actually loved them.
Y'all loved
Yeah,
them?
we had the
That was
breathing
so
exercises
cool.
together and we'd go
From the beginning? Oh my God.
not doing them like religiously and like repetitively. That would annoy us.
Yeah.
But whenever we go with the actual vocal coach, that's
That
when we
was
would
fun.
be happy and have fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I had the opposite reaction of Beyonce taking voice lessons. She hated it. She was like, I don't want to sit there. That's just dumb. When the scales and all of that stuff.
When did you see the gifts in your beautiful ones?
Actually, I've never been that parent that's like, ooh, like the stage mothery thing. Beyonce reminded me, she said, Mom, remember the time that Stacey Lattisaw came on, and y'all probably don't even know who that is. But there was this girl named Stacey Lattisaw. She had a pretty voice. She was about 15, I guess. And she did Love on the Two-Way Street, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and some other songs, but around the time of Tevin Campbell. And I remember her coming on TV, and I said to my husband, this is after she had been going for a while. She was winning all these competitions, but she was still really young. It was a big, maybe 4 or 5 year difference. And I said to him, do you think she'll ever sing as good as Stacey Lattisaw? And he said, she already does. That was that. But do you know she heard us say that? And I never knew she heard me say it. And so as an adult, she told me about that, and I said, where were you? And she was like, I was coming down and I heard you say that, and it really hurt me because I felt like, you didn't believe in me. And it wasn't that I didn't believe in her. It's just that this girl was like 13 and she had made it, and I was like, will she ever get there? Do you think? And we were just talking, but that's why you can't do that. This has been such a beautiful interview for me.
Thank you.
All right.
Yay.
As I reflect on my talk with Chloe and Hallie yesterday and their beautiful mom, Courtney, the words fate and faith come to mind. They say what is meant